So today I was thinking, okay, this week I've been drawing book covers the past couple days anyway, of some of my favorite vintage reference books that I've collected along the way, right? I have this one, and the cover's like not much to look at. It's not super fancy or anything like that, but it's beautiful in its own way. And it also reminds me of, the place and time where I got it. So I also think about like, what do you do every day when I come here and I'm doing another project or another exercise with you, or, something, um, something creative. And I thought about how when you're a kid, like, what's the number one question is, what should I draw? What should I draw? And why do people, stop being creative and stop doing art, or, you know, just, stop, stop making it an important thing in their life, or something like you know, a priority, stop prioritizing it. And, you know, we all know, everybody, if something doesn't come out, it's like the process. You're you're in the process, and you have to trust the process, and things don't always look great when you're in the process. And also people worry about, just in general, it not turning out good or being what you want it to be in the end. And um, when you're worried about that all the time, you can't really give yourself to the creative zone, right? Because ego, that's ego, and you can't create freely and like untethered in that space. So that's one thing, but also, and that's important, but also people think about, like, what should I draw? People feel like when you're a kid, you're like, I don't know what I want to draw. Um, you know, I don't know. I think that you judge yourself. You, your ego again starts getting in there. You're like, well, what should I draw? Why should I draw that? Blah, blah, blah. Like, then you start just tripping over your own ideas or thoughts about what, what you should draw. And then you don't draw, or you watch TV, or you play a video game or something. Coffee. And so then you don't. And then pretty soon the question isn't like, you don't even ask yourself that question anymore. You just go straight to the video game or whatever. I'm here. I'm here to share how important it is to just connect, like, emotionally with the thing that you want to draw. So this is something that I like to do. It's a lettering exercise. It's a drawing exercise. It's a memory exercise. It's an emotional exercise. It's everything. So you take a possession of yours, and you are going to draw it, but you're going to draw it, and you're also going to tell a story. Um, you're going to tell some kind of a story about it, and why you love it, why it's important to you, your story with it, your relationship with it. Maybe how did it come into your life? Maybe why do you treasure it? Maybe you found out that it's worth $200 and you only paid $12.50 for it. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Maybe when you got it, it was in really rocky condition, and you um, lined the cover because you never want the cover to, get destroyed. Um, like, it doesn't even matter. Just something where you connect to the item, to the physical item, and then you can write a story to your piece. We're just going to start drawing. And I'm just going to keep drinking my coffee too. So let's see. I got some new pens last week. These are not new pens. I love them. But let's dig up, let's see if I can find my new pens before we start drawing, just so I have them handy. And I don't have to dig around in here. I love these too, the Bravo felt tip, yes, love those. See, look at the chamber. This chamber's all out of ink. Okay. I also love these permapakes. If you've seen my other lives, then these are not new to you. Oh, I know what I did with it. I put them in a pen case. Let me go get my pen case and I can have all my new pens. That's what I did with it. Put them in here. Put them all in here. So I love doing this because I love doing things that connect you emotionally with what you're drawing. I feel like that is such a point of connection with your creative brain and your, you know, intellectual brain, and also just like your emotional brain. Everything kind of collides and you can have a beautiful story in your book. And I want to see, oh my gosh, do I have, I'm wondering where if I have, I don't think I have it with me right now, but my sketchbook that I have done this exercise in, I thought I would show you, but I don't have it at the moment. I guess I didn't pre-plan. Let's go in with the Bravo. So I'm just going to draw my book. Oh, you know what? Is my light on? Oh, it is. Okay. Is this light on? Actually, oh, you know what? I got to turn my light up. There we go. Better, better, better. And can you see? Yes, but I'm going to turn you a little bit because I am a lefty. I want to make sure that you can see what I'm doing here. So let's try that. Let's try that. So I'm just going to on my book cover. Oh, you know what I could even do? Do that, but I'm not going to do that because it's a little big for my page. Oops. That's okay. I'm just going to do this. Here we go. There's a puffin on the cover. So this is like really got some little destruction going on here. On the edge here, see that? I'm really just going to do this with pen today. I'm just doing like super old school. Let's just draw with pen. I want to put the book so you can see it too, though, because that would be fun. So let me see if I can put the book there. I'll just do that. I'll just do that. That might be better. Maybe that's better. So yeah, I think it's important to connect with things. I think that's how you can build. It's a good tool, I should say, to help build a habit of drawing every day and of like being more in touch with what you're drawing. It helps to connect like your emotional self to whatever it is you're drawing, and to also like remove your self-judgment as well, because what you want to do is get yourself in a brain space um where like these I don't want to call them rules, guidelines. You want to put yourself in a brain space where these guidelines are incompatible with like negative self-talk and with um, you know, things that would be a detriment to you creating. So if you can fill some space right? And put up some roadblocks to that sort of frame of reference that would be, or I shouldn't say frame of reference. What I mean is, if you can put up roadblocks to that sort of um, fallback, like way of falling back on something, um, then that's great. And it's hard to do. I know it's hard to do. Just, I know. I think it might be fun to color that little beacon actually, but let's hold off on that first. Let's just get the rest of this figured out. And usually when I do this, I write my story. I pre-write it. I literally just like scribble it in pencil um, on, a little piece of scrap paper. And I didn't even do that today. In fact, I wanted to find out real quick. I tried to Google it before I got on here. Oh, I'm gonna run out of space. I'm just gonna write the Peterson field guide because I can't remember for the. I don't have room to draw one series. Okay. And now let's just go into this edge here. I didn't have time to all right, maybe I thought of doing it too late to have the moment that I wanted to grab onto my Google and look up where I got this book, like the bookstore I got it in. And it literally wouldn't have taken me much time to do, but I thought of doing it a little bit late to my Zoom. I mean, sorry, we're not Zooming. A little bit late to our live here. But thank you for being here. So we're drawing our favorites, one of our favorite things. And this is an exercise that I love to do because it connects my art practice with my, you know, with some deep memory or some emotional, oh, look at that's lefty problems right there, with some emotional part of you that is incompatible with, judging yourself while you're drawing. I mean, it still could happen, obviously, but hopefully, like the thoughts and feelings that you have when you're doing this project override that part of us as a human being, as we are humans, how we do stuff like that, and how we do stuff like that, and we don't mean to, cause ourselves, you know, discomfort or negativity, but sometimes, you have to, this is why you have to really like stay on top of your, like, manage your mental state and your thoughts, like what goes in. So this is one way to, you know, this is one way to win that inner art game, right? I guess you could say, if you really want to market it up. You just take your favorite thing and you draw it, you create your story with it. You're asking yourself, when did I get this? Do I have a story attached to it? Why do I love it? What has it brought me? And what, like, how has it enriched my life? Um, what else? What else? What else? How did you acquire it? I wrote a couple notes here. Why are you so attached to it? What do you use it for? How has it, helped you to grow as a person, as an artist, whatever, right? So I'm just making some markers here. So I'm going to put my letters here, and just, I just want to make sure I just want to make sure that I'm going to have the space to put this stuff before I write it in pen. And that's another good thing. And I know we're not talking about that today, but drawing in something that is not erasable. That is another good exercise that I like to try and practice, because it's actually quite amazing if you draw in pencil and then you draw in pen. Like if you draw in pencil all the time and then you draw, and I love pencil. Like I'm not knocking pencil. I'm just talking about like the way that your brain works with your artwork. Um, if you draw in pencil and you and you draw in pencil like regularly, right, normally, and then you switch to pen, it's like, oh my god, what do I do? Like I can't erase. I can't do, this is so limiting to me. That's the feeling. This is just my hand. I'm a lefty, so I'm just gonna have smudges. I'm just gonna have to live with that today. I think I'm not gonna preciousize this. Um, cheers, and I'm worried about it. If you draw in pen, it's really uncomfortable at first when you're a full-on pencil person. It's uncomfortable because you're like, what am I going to do here? I can't even draw because I can't erase, you know? And erasing is great. Like, I love pencil. I'm not knocking it at all. It's just, I'm just pointing out, like, I go through phases where, and I love pencil. If you ever have seen any of I've done pencil a lot, and I love it. But, um, but you can erase pencil, and it's a different mindset when you can't erase. You're more I gotta be careful with my words, because everything I say out loud I'm also saying to myself, and I have to make sure that it's authentic and true. I'm not saying that you are less forgiving of like that you it's almost like when you use pen, you have to be you're riding the edge all the time, because you're kind of like um knowing that you could make a mistake, or whatever you feel is a mistake, but you have to be able to fix it because it's in pen, and find a way to make it work, or find a way to not care. you know so so it's like a whole different like mental gymnastic thing when you're using um pen versus, oh, see what I did there? Oh my god, I drew this box and I didn't lay out. Now, oh, see, look, I did, see, right? We're doing it. I think I'm gonna have to make some things up here. So yeah, so see, this is like in action. One of the great things about lives, seriously, is like every day something like this happens, and it's like, okay, let's make this happen in real time. No editing here. So yeah, you have to sort of. It's a good challenge, but it's also good to do long enough to like not draw with pencil, or like only draw with pen. It's good to do it long enough that it becomes second nature, and that you're not even really thinking about erasing, or I can't really say that because we're always going to think about like taking stuff away, like when you make a mistake. But I think you know what I'm trying to say. To the point where you're thinking about solution. Like, okay, that's done. Now what? I got to fix that. I got to work that in somehow, like this. I'm going to work that in somehow. I'm going to ignore my box that I drew, and I'm just going to keep going. I could, and my book is not even going to be big enough, but that's okay. Yeah, so now we're on to talking about pen instead of instead of pencil. Yeah, so pen is it's a great tool to, and I'm rewriting. It's a great teacher, you know. All these things are teachers if if you allow them to be, and if you know see them in that light. So yeah, I've gone through phases where I've only drawn with each, like only drawn with pen or only drawn with pencil. And I find that when I'm only drawing with pencil, as much as I love pencil, I do get that like anxiety if I have to draw with pen, or if I want to challenge myself to only draw with pen and not be able to erase, because erasing does become part of your process when you draw with pencil mostly. It just becomes like it's a part of the tool. It's not something to fix something anymore. It's also that, but it becomes more than that, because then you start maximizing your use of it, and then you use it in different ways too, which is nice. But it's also nice to to throw like a curveball at yourself in different ways, and like exercise some of those uncomfortable things. I think that's important, because a lot of people think, oh, art is just you know it's relaxing, it's therapeutic and all this, and it is, but it's also like it's a different way to exercise your brain, you know what I mean? So when you put yourself in little challenges, it's nice, because you're definitely working your thoughts and your problem solving and all these like soft skills that you know, that maybe have never been exercised like that before, or that don't usually get exercised in that way. So okay, let's move forward. Our book is not, let's make our book bigger, longer. So I don't think I do myself enough room here, but that's okay. Fix that. I'm going to fix it, and I'm ignoring the fact that I already started drawing the book. Let's draw. And you know what? Maybe those extra lines I drew will simply be just like another little element later on. Maybe it won't be that noticeable at all. And that's probably the case. So I'm thinking about the story I'm going to write. And I usually have some stuff scribbled down. I think I can make something up on the fly today for this. Oh, isn't that funny? It's a little foot. It's like a little perch. This little foot is on a perch. Isn't that cute? I do want to go in with a little bit of color on this. But I'm going to write a story. So maybe I'll do the story in color around it because I'm probably not going to do like a long story. So, because I didn't pre-prepare, but I do want to do the exercise the way that I like to do it, which is to add my own story. I do really invite you to do something like this and make mistakes when you're doing it, and then just see how you can address the issues in real time and make it work for you, because it's a very refreshing exercise. Honestly. As you can see, I have made my fair share of little hiccups in this one, but that's okay. Totally. One little benefit to using these neo colors to color in is that they are, some of them are like semi-opaque, and this light blue that I'm using right now, this periwinkle color, has a lot of white in the base, which helps to, I mean, it's not like going to completely cover any issues, but it does do a nice job of blurring lines, right? Blurring lines a little bit. So here's our cover. I'm just coloring it in now. Still gonna write a story. I'm gonna write a story, and when I write my story is gonna be very much fly by the seat of your pants. You know, it's not pre-planned. I mean, except what I'm planning in my head right now, but I didn't write anything down. Oh, let's see. Do I have? I have this that I could use. This is white ink, and I think maybe I won't use that today. I kind of want to at least sort of like fade. I want to do a little bit of fading of my lines that, oh, okay, I'm getting off track. I'm not going to do that because I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. This is called self-management. I'm not doing that. All right. I got this book on a trip to New Orleans. I need a hand rest. Oh, oh, oops, what's wrong? Let's see. Let's see what I'm doing. I'm going to do this now because I am going to be making it so you can see everything at once. I'm going to take my little marble off there. Okay. Thank you for your patience with all the up and down. Sometimes it's two. Let's mix it up, shall we? Let's mix this up. Like how I say what I'm writing as I'm writing it. Is that annoying? I got this book on a trip to New Orleans. I purchased it and let's try a new. No, this is too thin. We're not doing that. You know what I have? I have this dark blue Sharpie and I don't remember where I got it, but let's use it. Actually, let's do some little flourishes because it's fun. Bought it. And from, right? See, we just fixed that. I bought it in from. I have a fun idea. I have a fun idea. I have a very fun idea. Let's do this. This is always why you want to write ahead of time. You want to write your story. Or you can just have fun with tape. I bought it at, from, at, I don't know. Hold on, I'll be right there. I'm getting a special surprise guest star, not star. Special surprise guest paint pen. Oh, it's not charged. Let's get a different one. Let's get this one. This one's good. I don't know if you've been watching any of these lives, and it's okay. If this is your first live, great. I'm a paint pen fanatic, and I have yet. It's been a month. Okay, I think it's my actually. Is today my anniversary of a month of lives? I'm not sure. I bought it from. Right? At, from, I don't know. I bought it from a vintage, used. I'm going to use both words because I like both words. I feel like I overuse the word vintage. Or, see, this is part of the fun of this. You just make it up as you go along. Or, used, bookstore, and in the church. Order. Let's stack letter. I remember the proprietor. I remember how was Nice. Right. So happy. So, and up. Nice. Switch. Oh, okay, this is where I'm thinking. What words am I going to use? What do I want to say for preserving? And industry. We are a let's use a pen that you can see. How's that? I wanted to put the look at how gorgeous that is. Oh, I paid $12.50 for this book, which I think is a steal. And it's a really beautiful book, actually. Let's like just flip. I don't want to get it dirty with my fingers, but look at how beautiful this is. So anyway, what I wrote here, wanted to show you on the fly, but I will say that it's nice to give it a little more thought and just to scribble something down on a sticky note or something. And that's usually how I that is usually how I do this. When I do this, I usually have some sketched out, penciled out, thoughts real quick, nothing fancy. Nothing like where I'm correcting myself or anything. I mean, literally just like a scribble, on a piece of paper. But that said, you can do it on the fly like I did, sitting here thinking with you, like, what am I going to write, So if I had had some more time to consider what I was going to write, I probably would have written something more in tune with my emotional state about the book. But that's okay. I wrote kind of a story about when I bought it, and the place I bought it, even though I didn't mention any names because I didn't have time to look that up. So that's okay. But because I still wrote French Quarter. Not that many. I don't think there's. I think that if I looked at a list on Google, which I tried to do before I got on here, unsuccessfully didn't find it. But I think if I looked at a list, I could find a bookstore. But so kind of fun way to be creative, and also it's also personal. I mean, this story is not even. It doesn't even really talk about the story of the book, but it talks about how nice it was to visit the bookstore, and how um, how you could just feel the good energy in the bookstore, and that was great. I like this neo color to add that little bit of antique white. It's kind of nice. I think I'll add it to the back of the page too. A little bit. Just a little bit. So yeah, kind of fun to see what direction you take your little story in. And you can, take whatever angle you want. It doesn't have to be like a super emotive story, you know? It can just be a little story about a little bookstore. And how fun is that? He loved his books, and he really did love his books. I bought 2 of these Peterson field guides. I think I asked him, where are your reference books? I always tend to do that. And he showed me. And, I don't know what made me choose the ones I bought, except because I usually look for lots of pictures. And this one doesn't have that many pictures. I mean, it has some, obviously, but it's a lot of words. But it's just a beautiful book. It's just a beautiful book. There are a couple little details I want to put in here before I finish this. So I'm gonna fit them in somewhere. First, I'm gonna do some little doodling on it because it's fun. Supported. Okay. First, I do want to add in. Winner of the Brewster Medal is kind of a cool. I don't know what the Brewster Medal is, but it's pretty cool. You won a medal. That's good. If I could fit that in, but I don't know if I can. I think the first thing I want to fit in is, oh, look, the Riverside Press, Cambridge, Massachusetts, printed in the USA. 32nd impression, October 1964. That would be fun to add in someplace. Where could I put it? Where could I put that? Let's use the edges to make them. Like that. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Where can I put that? I gotta do it now. 32nd impression, October 1964. I think I'll put it on the bottom because that's really the only space that I see that I have space to do it. And why not? You know, why not? That's the space I have, and I'm going to use it. 32nd impression. Okay, so we'll do winner of the Brewster. Oh. Oh, lefty land. Actually, is that even a lefty thing? I mean, I don't know how lefty that problem was. But, yeah, the Brewster medal. And then we're going to put 32nd impression, which is printing, but they're calling it impression. And I'm breaking my rule of like I don't want that to get all smudgy. I wasn't doing that with this piece because I don't know, just because I wasn't, but I decided to right now because I don't want to deal with any smudges right now. 32nd printing, October. Ooh, I can't wait for October. 1960. Okay, now let's do some finishing touches. I'm gonna do a little bit of red. Just see where the Peterson Field Guide series is. Just a little bit, not much. Just a little dibbity dab, just to sort of emulate. Okay, that's red text. This is white text, but I'm not gonna touch that. And then here, I'm gonna just do this because just to sort of honor that a little bit. And what are we doing? I want to, you know what I'm going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I see it. I see it in my Neo colors. I'm going to take my rust. I have this. Oh, is that red? Oh, that's a red one. I have this rust color in here that is kind of a new, I have a new appreciation for this one, for this color, for this Neo color too. I have a new appreciation for this because it actually is a very juicy little Neo color, and it comes in handy when you need like kind of a warm neutral. See, I can see that. I could have told a lot of stories with this one too, and I didn't tell a lot of stories, but I did tell one story, which is nice. So glad. But you could do this again with, or like whatever item that you love that you do this with, you could, you know, as an exercise, you could do like 3 versions and tell a different story with each one if you wanted to, you know. I love that. I love that about it. So there we are. We're good. He loved his books. Let's do a little heart right there. Right? Let's do a little bit of adding. That's great. Hey, thank you so much for coming today. I hope that you enjoyed this. And I hope you give this little exercise a try because it's super fun. It connects you to your creativity in a way that's very conducive to no self-judgment and to enjoying the process and to your memories, your happy memories, and reasons why you love your things. So, all right, I'll be back at 12:30 p.m. today Eastern to do a quiet live, and I hope you have a great day. Okay, bye.